All right, so for today, Monday, April 20th, we are starting a whole new science unit. This is what we're doing for our reading time. Excuse me, but it goes along with our science standards also. So you're going to be finding your gardener's notebook that came in your second packet that I gave you right before spring break. We're moving out of the space unit and into our plant unit. So it's going to be the gardener's notebook that we're working in for the next couple of weeks. And we are going to have new vocabulary words. So we are starting from scratch with our vocabulary, and then we'll have a read aloud every day and our task that you'll do in your gardener's notebook. So for today, for day one, and if you want, just make a gardener's notebook vocabulary word page so you can keep up with the vocabulary words we're learning. But for day one, we've got quite a few vocabulary words we're going to be learning and talking about. Some are familiar from when we did our apple and pumpkin unit. So we are going to be rehearing seed. We're going to learn seed coat. We're going to relearn sprout, germination, roots, minerals, shoots, leaves, cycle, predictability or predictable. We have been talking about that with space. We talked about it when we talked about pumpkins and apples, so being predictable. Buds, pods, vitamins, and nutrition. So those are all of our new vocabulary words for today. And then parents, I will post, there's going to be 12 to 13 total days with these tasks and this unit. So I will go ahead and post all vocabulary words on Class Dojo. So we are going to read today. Our interactive read aloud is From Seed to Plant by Gail Gibbons. Very informational, lots of details and information in this book. Most plants make seeds. A seed contains the beginning of a new plant. So it's showing you all kinds of different plants. Flowers like, over here we've got the tomato plant, squash, a violet, which is a flower, a tulip, a daisy, a rose, pea, buttercup, corn. So most plants make seeds. A seed contains the beginning of a new plant. Seeds are different shapes, sizes, and colors. You've probably seen some of those around your yard before, so see if you can name any of those, if you know what they go to. All seeds grow into the same kind of plant that makes them. So if you get a sunflower seed, all sunflower seeds are going to grow into a sunflower. If you get an acorn, they are all going to grow into an oak tree. Many plants grow flowers. Flowers are where most seeds begin. A flower is made up of many parts. We're going to get into all of those parts on another read that we do. Before a seed can begin to grow, a grain of pollen from the stamen must land on the stigma at the top of the pistil of a flower like itself. This is called pollination. Pollination happens in different ways. Often wind blows pollen from flower to flower. Bees, other insects, and hummingbirds help pollinate too. While they visit flowers for their sweet juice, called nectar, pollen rubs onto their bodies. Then they can carry the pollen to another flower where it comes off onto its pistil. If a pollen grain from a flower lands on the pistil of the same kind of flower, it grows a long tube through the pistil into an ovule. This is the beginning of a seed. The seeds grow inside the flower, even as the flower begins to die. As the seeds become bigger, a fruit or pod grows around them. The fruit or pod protects the seed. When the fruit or pod ripens, it breaks open. The seeds are ready to become new plants. Some seeds fall to the ground around the base of the plant where they will grow. Some pods or fruits open and the seeds pop out. Sometimes when birds eat the berries, they drop the seeds. Other seeds fall into streams, ponds, rivers, or the ocean. There they travel on the water until they stick to dirt along the shore. The wind scatters seeds. Some seeds have fluff on them that lets them float along the ground or float to the ground like a tiny parachute. Others have wings that spin as they fall. Animals help scatter seeds too. They hide acorns and nuts in the ground. Some seeds have hooks that stick to the fur of animals and people's clothes. Later they drop off onto the ground. A flower bed or vegetable garden is beautiful. Seeds are planted to grow in the garden. The seeds come in small envelopes or boxes. Directions explain how to plant the seeds and care for the plants. So, on these last couple of pages here that we were talking about how the seeds scatter or are planted, what is one way that seeds end up where they are going to grow? So we talked about several different ways. To these last few pages. So just name one of those ways. How do those seeds end up where they are going to grow? Why are the people planting seeds? Do they need them? Look closely at the pictures and you can find out more information. The beginning of a plant is curled up inside each seed. Food is stored inside the seed too. The seed has a seed coat on the outside to protect it. So what is the outside of the seed called? And why is it important to the seed? A seed will not sprout until certain things happen. First, it must be on or in the soil. Then it needs rain to soak the seed and soften its seed coat. When the sun shines and warms the ground, the seed coat breaks open and the seed begins to grow. This is called germination. A root grows down into the soil. The root takes in water and minerals from the soil for food. So those are the roots beginning to grow. This is the seed and the seed coat opening. And then it's germinating. It's starting to sprout, but it's not up above the ground yet. Up grows a shoot. Green leaves grow up from the shoot towards the sun. So using information on these pages, what 3 things does a plant need to grow during its life cycle? So what were the things that it had to have in order to grow? And then on this previous page right here, after the seed germinates and the roots grow down into the soil, what did it say happened next? The plant grows bigger and bigger. The leaves make food for the plant from the water and minerals in the soil, the sunlight, and the air all around the plant. Finally, the plant is full grown. Buds on the plant open into flowers where new seeds will grow. So, we just read how the plant continues to grow. Bigger and bigger and bigger until it is fully grown. What forms on the fully grown plant? And why is this part of the plant so important? Now that we know that new seeds come from buds, what can we predict will happen to the new seeds? Do you remember what this process is called? What is this whole process called? Can you name all the other things that happened in this life cycle? Many of the foods people eat are seeds, fruits, and pods. They are full of nutrition, vitamins, and minerals, and they are tasty too. Alright, so going back the last few pages here, we have read about the life cycle of the plant. So now I want you to go back through the video, and I want you to describe each of the pictures, each of the steps, and how those illustrations are giving you information about the life cycle process. Use words from your vocabulary to describe the pictures that you have observed and how they help you understand this life cycle. On this page, the author said that the seeds, fruits, and pods that we eat from plants are full of nutrition. What do you think that means? So, today we are going to start the life cycle of a bean plant. In class, we would have absolutely started this project and watched it grow. I encourage you and your family to start this project as well, since we're going to be doing this for the next, I believe it's like 2.5 weeks. You're really going to be able to see some growth happen over time, especially by the end of the school year at the end of May. So go ahead and try this project at home. So how to raise bean plants. It says find a clean glass jar, take a piece of black construction paper and roll it up. Slide the paper into the jar, fill the jar up with water. Wedge the bean seeds between the black paper and the glass. Put the jar in a warm place. In a few days, the seeds will begin to sprout. Watch the roots grow down, the shoots will grow up. So then, once it has done that, you want to take care of your bean plant. So now you want to put dirt into a big clay pot. Carefully remove the small plants from the glass jar. Place them in the soil, covering them up to see the base of their shoots. And then watch them. Watch them grow. Or water them, sorry, and watch them grow. All right, so your task that you're going to be completing today is going to be task 1. So when you open it up, it's going to be the first 2 pages here. So the task is asking you, daily task 1. Second graders at our school are learning about life cycles of animals. You will share with them what you have learned about plant life cycles so that they can make connections to what they are learning. Draw the life cycle of a plant. Then write an informative paragraph about the stages in a plant's life cycle. In your paragraph, be sure to name the topic, supply some facts about the topic, provide a sense of closure, and use specific vocabulary from our text. So I chose the sunflower, but you can choose any plant, and you want to show at least the seeds. You can skip over to it kind of sprouting, and then it growing up into the leaves or the flower. So use the book, those few pages there from when it showed the seed in the ground to it starting to do the germination, grow the roots, and then sprout the shoot and the leaves. And then it could be a flower, it could be a tree, it could be all sorts of different things that actually start to grow the leaves and the buds or the flowers on it. So you choose, but it should be approximately 4 to 5 steps in the life cycle that you're showing of your plant. So this was my example, and I labeled on every picture that I drew, every step, I labeled everything in the picture, what was growing. And then my paragraph says all plants have a life cycle. First, a seed forms and has the beginnings of a new plant inside. As it grows in the soil, a stem starts to grow up toward the sun, and the roots grow down into the ground. The roots grow down to get the minerals and water from the soil to help the plant grow. Next, a shoot forms and sprouts out of the ground into a small plant. The plant grows and grows until it is a big plant with flowers and seeds. From these seeds, more plants will grow. That is what makes a plant's life cycle like a circle. If you all need any help at all with the daily task 1, please let me know, and try out that bean plant project.